Kicked out for a sleepover. At my parents' house, there's one rule that's always been non-negotiable: no sleepovers without permission. This stemmed from an incident with my oldest brother's ex-partner, who would often stay over without asking and cause tension. After that, my parents laid down the law to avoid any similar situations. The rule has been in place for years, and we all know it. My sister, however, decided to test this rule, and it ultimately led to a huge conflict that would change everything. My sister had a friend over and they decided to have a sleepover without asking our parents, which is a huge no-no in our house. When my parents found out, they were furious and immediately started talking about kicking my sister out. I knew this was a possibility because my parents had made it clear that breaking the rules would have serious consequences. When my sister came to me, crying and begging me to talk to our parents, I told her that I wasn't going to get involved. I said it was her own fault for not following the rules and that she should have thought about the consequences before she had her friend over. I know it sounds harsh, but I genuinely believed that she needed to take responsibility for her actions. My sister was hurt and angry with me, but I stood firm, thinking that this would teach her a lesson. In that moment, I didn't consider the potential fallout or how my decision would affect our relationship. I just knew that I didn't want to get involved in the conflict. After I told my sister that getting in trouble was her own fault, she was understandably upset with me. She felt I had abandoned her and wasn't supportive when she needed me. I could see why she'd think that, and it made me feel guilty for not standing up for her. My sister ended up having to move out, and it was a tough time for all of us. I was left wondering if I had made a mistake by not defending her, if maybe I should have tried to mediate the situation or help my parents see things from her perspective. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that I had been trying to avoid conflict, but in doing so, I might have made things worse. My sister's anger and hurt towards me lingered for a while, and it took some time for us to repair our relationship. Looking back, I'm still unsure if I was in the wrong, but I do know that I learned a lot about the importance of considering the consequences of my actions and being more empathetic towards those I care about. Looking back, I've had time to process my decision and the aftermath. I've wondered if I should have stood up for my sister, if fighting my parents on her behalf would have made a difference. But I've come to realize that this experience has taught me a lot about family dynamics and personal responsibility. My sister made a choice, and she faced the consequences. While it was tough to see her go through that, it was also a valuable lesson for her. I've learned that sometimes, not intervening can be the hardest but most loving thing to do. It allows people to grow and learn from their mistakes. My one-line takeaway from this experience is that setting boundaries and respecting rules is crucial, even if it's difficult. I'm still unsure if I was in the wrong, but I know that this experience has shaped my perspective on family and responsibility, and for that, I'm grateful.